Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and today we have to talk about a useful propaganda tool for the Chinese Communist Party. Now, if you're a longtime listener or follower of mine, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about here, but we've got confirmation in a way that the previous whistleblowers and everybody else kind of reinforces, but now we've got more even interesting confirmation. Now, this is coming from DNYUZ, and this is what we're talking about. A former executive at ByteDance, this is the Beijing, China company that owns TikTok, has accused TikTok of, quote, a culture of lawlessness, end quote, which includes stealing content from rival platforms Snapchat and Instagram in its early years. And he also called the company a, quote, useful propaganda tool for the Chinese Communist Party. Now, these claims were part of a wrongful dismissal suit filed this past Friday by Yintao Yu. Now, he was, the head of engineering for ByteDance's U.S. operations from August 2017 through November 18. So just over a year in that company. Now, the complaint filed in San Francisco Superior Court says that Mr. Yu was fired because he raised concerns about a quote-unquote worldwide scheme to steal and profit from other companies' intellectual property. Now, among the most striking claims in his lawsuit is that ByteDance's offices in Beijing had a special unit of Chinese Communist Party members, sometimes referred to as the committee, which monitored the company's apps and, quote, guided how the company advanced core communist values, end quote, and possessed a quote-unquote death switch that could turn off the Chinese app entirely. Meaning, essentially, the government of China, the People's Communist Party of China, ran TikTok. It's something we've talked about, that basically companies inside China that are Chinese owned are essentially beholden to the government. And here we go. The complaint said, and I quote, the committee maintained supreme access to all the company data, even data stored in the United States, end quote. Now, if you recall, a few years back, TikTok's executives here in the United States went in front of U.S. Congress and told the U.S. Congress that that wasn't happening. We have whistleblower tapes. We've got this complaint from basically the head of their engineering in the United States, a Chinese national himself. This is what we are talking about. Now, also in his complaint, Mr. Yu said that TikTok sought to attract users in its early days, and by trying to do that, ByteDance engineers started copying videos and posts from Snapchat and Instagram without permission and then posting them to the app. He also claimed that ByteDance, and I quote, systematically created fabricated users, end quote. Basically, an entire army of bots to boost engagement. And that is something that he said he flagged to his superiors. Now, Mr. Yu also says that he raised concerns with Zhu Wenjia, who was in charge of the TikTok algorithm, but that Mr. Shou was, quote unquote, dismissive and remarked that this is not a big deal. Now, Mr. Yu, who spent part of his ByteDance tenure working in the actual offices in China, said, and he also witnessed engineers for Douyin, that is the Chinese version of TikTok, tweak the algorithm to elevate content that expressed hatred for Japan. Now, in the interview, he said that the promotion of anti-Japanese sentiments, which would make it more prominent for users, was done without hesitation. We've talked about this, how Douyin in China, when they are pumping out content, especially to kids in China, the kids are time limited in a way they never were here until literally like the last month or two. They don't put stupid videos and let's kick in like front door challenge BS. They actually give them educational stuff, mathematics, science, all this kind of stuff. And so they promote and push whatever they want. So having them pump out anti-Japanese sentiment, anti-US sentiment, whatever it is, basically having, let's say, the American version of Douyin, known as TikTok, be basically very communist people friendly. And here we go. Quote, there was no debate. They just did it. Now, the lawsuit also accuses ByteDance engineers of working on Chinese apps of demoting content that expressed support for pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong while making more prominent criticisms of protests available to users. That is absolutely what we are seeing, through TikTok, as we are looking at this. Because again, that aligns with the quote-unquote communist values that their literal government committee that controlled the app was able to do. Now, an example of what he described as the lawlessness inside the company. The lawsuit says that the founder of ByteDance, Chang Yingming, who was recently in front of U.S. Congress defending his app, facilitated bribes to Lu Wei, a senior government official charged with internet regulation. Chinese media at the time covered the trial of Lu Wei, who was charged in 2018 and subsequently convicted of bribery, but there was no mention who paid the bribes. Now he's saying TikTok, or I should say ByteDance out of Beijing, was that. And this should be no surprise to anybody that is actually paying attention. They are prioritizing the content that they want. They are basically just zapping the energy and minds of young kids because they're not promoting the content like they are for the kids in China with science and math and education and all this kind of stuff. This is a huge problem. On top of that, I literally just did a video and podcast about a week or so ago, maybe less than a week, just actually verbatim talking about essentially their privacy policy and essentially how their app, if it's on the phone, is going to scan all the devices in your network. It turns on your GPS. It does all of these different things. It's absolutely insane. Why is anybody using this? So understand, now you've got internal people, basically Chinese nationals, talking about this, saying yes, they are doing exactly what the whistleblowers, multiple complaints, reverse engineering of their app does, and even their privacy policy, which clearly states a lot of just the intrusion and surveillance that they're doing. Why is anybody using this app? You cannot say, especially if you follow me, that you haven't been told. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP for more unfortunate TikTok news. I hate talking about this stupid app, but we've got to keep up. Feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And I do other things other than talk about, social media and privacy issues. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private and get off of TikTok for the love of God. Thanks, everybody.